MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show, the show for all our wonderful entrepreneurs out there. Now, when we think about entrepreneurs, we think about an entrepreneur coming up with this great idea, putting a plan together, then becoming successful. But what many of us actually do is become entrepreneurs out of a crisis point, out of something that happens that we didn't expect, such as COVID. One of those entrepreneurs is in studio with us today. Her name is Lihle Malitjane, and her business is called My Sweet Potato. Let's take a look.
When we started, it was a one-man shop. I think that's how most of us start. So I would take orders, I would go buy the stock, I would cook the food, I would pack the food, I would deliver the food. We then grew by one more person who was assisting in doing basically everything I was doing. And then we were working from my garage at the time, so we turned the entire garage into a kitchen space. We inserted gas lines and tiled and everything. After about a year and a half, we moved to co-space where we had about a 30 square meter, which is really tiny. We had a 30 square meter unit, which was really exciting because it was the first time we actually managed to rent out a space. But about 6 months later, we moved to where we are now, which is River Sands. We moved into about a 70 square meter unit, and at the time there was about 4 of us. So there was quite a bit of growth, quite a bit of demand, which was great because then we were able to employ people full time. And about last year, we moved into this beautiful space that we're in. It's a 200 square meter, still in River Sands. And there's about 7 of us currently, and we've also got 2 interns. So there's about 9 of us in total. We're very popularly known for curries. So I'm from Durban. So one of the things that I was looking for when I moved to Joburg was a really good curry, and I couldn't find it. And so I would always be on YouTube trying to make the best curry until I found it and it worked, and people love it, and that's what we're known for. So a lamb curry, a chicken curry, a butter chicken curry, biryanis, those are the things that we do really well. But also just creating beautiful spreads. So we're really passionate about how we serve, because people eat with their eyes first. At the time when I started the company, I was banting and I was eating sweet potato pancakes and sweet potato fries, and I discovered that just the sweet potato is really underrated, but it's got such incredible nutritional value, and it's really, really tasty. But also, veggies are always the underdog. We're always focusing on the meat, the protein or whatever. So because we really celebrate every ingredient that we make, we don't just focus on the meat and then everything is just sort of aside. Everything that we make sure we give it its time to shine. And so calling it My Sweet Potato just made sense. I've also struggled a lot with staffing, getting the right candidates for the right price, training them right. That's also been quite a hassle. And also just differentiating yourself in the market. I've got a lot of questions, but I think the staffing issue, because it's something that's really close to my heart. I really do like working with people. I really like to empower people with knowledge and skills. And of course, in this climate, to give people work is a really important thing for me. So I just want to be maybe equipped better with how to do it right, so that it's of value for the business and that we're getting candidates that are going to see the value in being part of our team as well.
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, this is all your food that you've put together?
Yeah, just some of it.
Just some of it, okay.
Yeah.
And I see we've got a nice romantic candle dinner that we're having.
Just to warm us up.
Yeah, that's a first for the Big Small Business Show. Now, your issue is around staff and hiring staff. So let's just talk about how you hire staff now. What is your process that you use right now? And let's be honest.
Yeah. Okay, so recently we started posting on Careers 24 to try and find the right kind of candidates, because initially we were posting on social media, whether it's Instagram or WhatsApp, to try and get, the candidates that we're looking for. And the kind or the quality of candidates we were getting, we weren't happy with. So I thought maybe a more professional platform will give us more professional candidates. And
was that true?
No. No. So we're still, I haven't found the sweet spot yet. It's still trial and error. But we keep trying.
You speak about the fact the quality of the candidates is not there. How do you define quality in your mind?
Yeah.
What does quality mean?
I think for one, professional. I've seen a huge lack of just professionalism, simple work etiquette that I think most of us take for granted. I haven't been seeing a lot of that in the candidates that we've interviewed. And just lack of skills is one of the biggest problems, So people have qualifications, but there's just no skills.
Well, maybe there are skills. Maybe you're just not finding those skills.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just talk about your interview process, right? So when you look at the CV, and then you bring people in for an interview?
Yeah.
All right, just take me through what happens in that interview.
Yeah, I think because there's quite a huge demand for work, we usually get over hundreds and hundreds of CVs. So myself and one of the admin staff, and mind you, we don't have any HR experience. So we will sift through them based on the requirements that we've set for the role and choose about 10 and then sort of work our way down.
How do you choose? On what basis? Just experience?
So we'll look at location, we'll look at experience, we'll look at qualifications, all of those, and see if they actually match what we said we're looking for.
So you bring them in?
Yeah, and then we'll bring them in.
Yes.
And then we'll interview.
Okay, and tell me what happens in that meeting.
So firstly, we'll look at them as they walk in, and some of them have been disqualified from just how they look. Either they dressed as if they're going to the mall or the beach. And then they sit down, I introduce myself and I tell them a bit about the company. I ask them more often than not if they are familiar with who we are and if they've done the research. Maybe let's say about 6 times out of 10, people will say they don't know who we are, yet they're there. So that for me is already a red flag. And then I'll give them an opportunity to talk or to tell about themselves. And then I'll ask skills-specific questions. So it depends on which role. So let's say I'm looking for a chef. Then I'll sort of ask specific questions that a chef would understand.
Yeah.
And that will help me to gauge sort of where they are in terms of the skills that they have.
We're going to have to take a break now. So when we come back, I'll be asking you more questions. Stay tuned.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.